We all remember Scar as the ultimate villain in Disney's The Lion King, the evil lion who betrayed his family, murdered his brother Mufasa, and almost destroyed the Pride Lands. But what if the Scar we know wasn't always so evil? What if his transformation wasn't only because of jealousy, but because of something he had no influence on? To understand how Scar became evil, we need to go back to when he wasn't known as Scar. His name was Taka, a lion full of potential, with dreams to lead the Pride Lands, but nothing more than that. He wasn't a murderer, and he wasn't cruel. But everything changed because of a venomous snake bite that we learn about in the Lion Guard series. This theory changes everything about how you will see Scar. In the Lion Guard, we see a flashback of how Scar got bitten by a snake when he is telling Ushari how he got his scar, back in time when he was the leader of the Lion Guard. It wasn't just an accident, it was a trap. Another lion, someone we don't know much about, but who clearly wanted to hurt Scar, back then still known as Taka, tricked him into danger. But what we do see of this other lion is that he also has a scar on his eye, also known as the Mark of Evil. When we listen closely to what Scar says in the flashback, we hear that this other lion came up with the idea to take over the lead together. Taka, always feeling the desire to rule, finds his idea interesting and follows him. But this strange lion set him up. He led him to a cobra that bit his eye. We later learn from Rafiki that this bite leaves venom that will make you lose control of seeing what is wrong and what's right if the venom is left untreated. So this lion probably wanted to make Taka bad just like he was, so that they could rule together with evil. This scar wasn't just a wound, it was the beginning of Taka's fall. They probably didn't know back then that the venom had to be treated. Or maybe someone did, but Mufasa didn't take Taka's injury seriously. When Taka told Mufasa proudly how he sent the evil lion flying using the roar of the elders, which we will get to later, Mufasa just laughed at him and nicknamed him Scar. This was the moment Taka thought Mufasa shouldn't be king. The venom inside Taka started to change the way he thought. He slowly couldn't see the difference between right and wrong anymore. Now that Taka has become Scar, both in name and in how he acts, the venom keeps working in his body. As time passes, the poison doesn't just change his mind, it makes all his bad thoughts even worse. Scar, who once believed in the strength of the Pride, starts to think that everyone is betraying him. His jealousy of Mufasa, which was always there but quiet, begins to grow stronger and harder to control. Scar's change didn't happen suddenly. It was a slow and painful fall into madness, caused by the venom spreading through him. It's important to remember that before the snake bite, Scar wasn't free from flaws. In fact, as we learn in the book, The Tale of Two Brothers, he had always carried jealousy toward Mufasa. Scar, back then, Taka, believed he was stronger, smarter, and more suited to lead the Pride Lands than his brother. But this jealousy was still manageable, because when he became leader of the Lion Guard, he probably also felt seen and like a leader, just like he always wanted to be, even though there was always the desire to be a real king. Because the Lion Guard still had to follow orders from the king. But what we also read in this book is another way of how Scar might have gotten his scar. The book says that Scar, back then, still Taka and his brother Mufasa, were about to go out hunting with their dad, who was king at the time. Their dad canceled at the last minute and Taka was mad. He came up with a plan to make a buffalo attack Mufasa to get back at his dad, but this backfired because Mufasa got away and Taka got attacked and was left with a scar, and from then on he got a nickname, Scar. But I think both ways could have really happened. At the time of the attack, as we read it in the book, Taka and Mufasa were really young, even their dad was still alive. So maybe Scar was really left with a wound across his eye this time, and Mufasa gave him the nickname Scar, but this wound wasn't so deep, so the scar faded over time. This explains why Mufasa laughed in Taka's face when he told Mufasa how he blew the evil lion and cobra away that got him his new wound across his eye. Mufasa remembered this image from when they were young and thought it was funny and called his brother Scar again. Scar's fall into darkness gets worse while leading his own lion guard. Because before he became fully evil, Scar was the leader of the lion guard. He had the powerful roar of the elders. This was also the roar he used to blow the strange lion and cobra away. At this point, Scar was still respected as a leader, but the venom had already started to affect him, filling his mind with doubts and fears. His lion guard was loyal to him, but Scar's growing paranoia made him suspicious of even his closest allies. The venom made him believe that his guard was planning to betray him, that they were more loyal to Mufasa than to him. Scar saw betrayal everywhere, and with his mind clouded, he thought he couldn't trust anyone. And so, in a moment of madness, Scar destroyed his own lion guard with the roar of the elders. This was also the point he lost the roar, because he used it for evil, which will make you lose the roar. This was the moment that truly sealed Scar's fate. Without the roar, Scar was left with nothing but his own evil ambitions and the venom that had taken over his mind. He had destroyed the only thing that gave him power and respect. By the time Scar faces Mufasa, the venom has completely taken over. In the famous scene where Scar lets Mufasa fall to his death, we don't just see a lion acting out of jealousy. We see a lion who has lost his mind. Scar's betrayal isn't just carefully planned. It comes from his twisted belief that Mufasa must die for Scar, to take what he thinks should be his. The venom has erased any feelings of brotherhood or loyalty from Scar's mind. He doesn't see Mufasa as family anymore, only as someone standing in the way of the throne. After Mufasa's death, Scar takes the throne, but even as king, Scar isn't the powerful ruler he thought he'd be. Under Scar's reign, the Pride Lands fall into ruin. He rules through fear, manipulating the hyenas and alienating the lions. In his poisoned mind, everyone is a potential threat to his power. Scar's way of ruling the Pride Lands reflected what was happening inside him: chaos, decay, and desperation. The venom had turned Scar into a lion filled with fear and insecurity, unable to see the damage he was causing. Under his rule, the once beautiful Pride Lands became a wasteland, showing the destruction the venom caused not only in Scar's mind, but also in the world around him. So, that leaves us with some big questions. Was Scar really evil, or was he just a victim of the venom that changed him? Could he have been a good leader of the Lion Guard if that snake bite never happened? And if Scar had been healed, would he still have betrayed Mufasa? Maybe Scar isn't the villain we always thought he was. Maybe he was a lion with great potential who was pulled into darkness by something he couldn't control. So, what do you think? Does Scar deserve a second chance, or is he still the bad guy in the Lion King story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and hit the notification bell for more theories of the Pride Lands.